For years, mosquitoes have been a thorn in our side. They're not only annoying, but they can also transmit deadly diseases like malaria and Zika virus. What if there was a way to get rid of them once and for all? In this video, I'm going to explore the possibility of mosquitoes becoming extinct and what that could mean for our world. Today, we take for granted the presence of mosquitoes in our lives. But what if they became extinct? What would happen to the world as we know it? On the surface, it might seem like getting rid of mosquitoes would be a good thing. After all, they're responsible for transmitting deadly diseases like malaria and dengue fever. But believe it or not, their extinction would have some pretty serious consequences for the environment and for humans. So before you start wishing for a world without mosquitoes, read on to find out more about what could happen if they disappeared from our planet. 1. If mosquitoes became extinct, humans would no longer have to worry about diseases like malaria and West Nile virus. If mosquitoes were to become extinct, it would revolutionize modern healthcare. Already, populations around the world suffer from the serious impact of mosquito-borne illnesses such as malaria and West Nile virus. By removing mosquitoes from the equation, these diseases could effectively be eliminated and huge numbers of people could potentially be saved from its long-term effects. Even today, huge strides are taken in science and medicine to contain these illnesses that are spread by mosquitoes, but without them the burden of controlling their spread could finally end. In a world without mosquitoes, people no longer have to fear mosquito-borne diseases and the worries associated with contracting them. 2. Mosquito-borne diseases can cause death and disability worldwide, with Zika, dengue fever, malaria and more affecting millions of people each year. Implementing global mosquito control efforts could save billions of dollars in healthcare costs annually. The financial implications of preventing these illnesses would be substantial. We could save billions of dollars associated both with treating the illnesses and devising methods for mosquito control. Investment in disease prevention would ultimately be transformative for public health all over the world, and saving money on healthcare costs makes it a win-win situation. 3. As annoying as mosquitoes can be, they're an essential food source for many animals, including fish, amphibians, reptiles and birds. While eliminating them would bring benefits, such as reduced disease transmission, it would also create shifts to the integrated web of wildlife that rely on this secondary source of nutrition. Fish, amphibians, reptiles and birds are just a few species that rely on mosquitoes for food. Eliminating them from certain habitats could radically destabilize ecosystems. Considering this interdependence should serve as a reminder of how vital nature is and how all species within an ecosystem rely on each other to survive. 4. Despite the annoyance of mosquitoes, many plants rely on them for pollination and could face extinction without them. Additionally, the balance of insect and plant life in different ecosystems would be drastically altered and numerous species could become endangered as a result. For example, if mosquitoes were to disappear, some species of orchids and tropical trees that rely on them for pollination would have no way to reproduce. Indeed, this is why it is important to keep mosquitoes around despite their annoying ability to ruin a day outside. They may play an unsung but critical role in our natural world. 5. The consequences of mosquito extinction could be devastating for both nature and humanity. Mozzies, as they are affectionately known, may seem a plentiful nuisance at times, but their role in the food chain makes them incredibly important to both animal and plant life. Without them, insect populations would explode, leading to a collapse in biodiversity and throwing ecosystems off balance. Human society also stands to benefit from the presence of mosquitoes. They are an important source of food for some animal species, which in turn provide economic benefits to humans. Mosquito-dependent organisms have adapted to fill numerous roles in the environment, including nutrient cycling and climate regulation. Without these creatures, the world would likely be drastically different and much less predictable. As it stands today, we cannot yet begin to imagine the far-reaching consequences of mosquito extinction. The potential loss is simply too great. While mosquitoes may be annoying pests, their extinction would have serious consequences for both the natural world and human society. On the one hand, we would no longer have to worry about diseases like malaria and West Nile virus. We would also save billions of dollars each year in healthcare costs and mosquito control efforts. However, on the other hand, the loss of mosquitoes would also mean the loss of a major food source for many animals, including fish, amphibians, reptiles, and birds. Additionally, without mosquitoes to pollinate them, plants that rely on them for reproduction would also be at risk. Ultimately, before we consider eradicating mosquitoes entirely, we need to weigh the pros and cons carefully to ensure that we are not doing more harm than good. Stay safe!